Cool. Today I'm joined by Paul Matson, UK Army veteran and founder of Hull for Heroes. They're a specialist charity supporting those who've served in the forces. Paul, I know you're a really busy guy, so I'm really pleased that you've taken some time out of your day to come and talk to me.
No problem. Thank you.
You've achieved a lot in your life, but I know it wasn't always a bed of roses. Should we maybe start at the beginning? What was life like for you as a lad, and where did you grow up?
Yeah, life at first was good. As a lad, I grew up Ezel Road, basically, so I'm
Yeah.
a Ezel Roader. I obviously would have ended up into the fishing industry more likely, but the fishing industry left before my time. So we, like many, moved away from Hazel Road and we moved on to Bransholm. And I have to say that as a young kid, I used to get told off for keep turning on the warm tap and things. I couldn't believe that the warm water was coming out of a tap, and we had two taps and a bath and all them sort of things that we never had when we lived on Ezel Road. But yeah, it was good. We were there probably when when Bransholm began basically. So it was all fields around us, haystacks, playing with haystacks, making dens, making pyramids. Poor farmers, bless them, must have thought what's going on. You know, there was all sorts of animals being made out of their haystacks and things in the morning when they come back to work. So we had a laugh, we had a scream. It was just a great time as a very young lad growing up. Later, my mum and dad unfortunately parted. My dad went to live away, and I was sent away basically to live with my grandparents for a while in Paul. While I think it all settled down, if you like, when they stopped the arguing and decided who was going to have the three-piece suite and whatever else. So I lived in Paul for a while, played at Paul Fort, played on the waterfront, playing on all the barges and such like. Nowadays, I don't know what would happen with a young lad playing sat in a barge on his own and in the middle of the water with the tide coming in and things like that. It's not the best circumstance, but I absolutely loved my time there, and especially living with my grandparents. It was a wonderful experience.
Yeah.
Every day watching the ferry go out and that sort of thing, just waiting for it to come back in and them
It's
sort
always
of
the
things.
little things that you remember, isn't it, growing up? It's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Yeah.
We had a real strange way. She had a bath that was over the kitchen sink, so you'd have to climb onto the kitchen sink and climb into the bath. It was in the stairwell, and I could sit in the bath and watch the river boats go by and things. So it was quite a good time. I used to wait while I froze to death before I got out and such like. So it was
Was
good.
it in the days of coal sheds and outside toilets?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had all that. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, then back to Bransholm, growing up a little bit. With my dad gone, I, I don't know. I sort of lost my way a little bit. I became a bit of a terror. I think it was all down to him not having my dad there, and I just was a bit of a tearaway in the end, and not the best lad probably for my mum to look after. It wasn't really good times, to be fair, and I just sort of lost my way completely. I would have ended up into crime and things, and I think later I left school probably at 14. There was something happened at school that wasn't wonderful, let's say, with a teacher, and just um, I just ran off and didn't go back to school at all for 2 years for the 2 years that was left. Um, as I as at the time I left school and I was able to get a job, although I'd been working on farms and picking potatoes and doing all sorts of things and delivering potatoes. It was just I got a normal job. I went to sign on, let's say, but I was forced into a job creation scheme. So I ended up working on a building site, which I quite enjoyed, to be fair. But it came to the end of the scheme. The 6 months was over, and they chose some other people to go on the scheme as they did then. They didn't. They just. It was a bit of a cheap labour thing, if you
Yeah.
like. They just kept churning kids out and out as it went along. But quite enjoyed it. And then it was nothing really. You know, I had to go sign on again. There was not really much work at all at them times. And one day the people at the dole office told me to go to the careers office and get my form stamped to say that I'd been looking for work. Went to the careers office. There was a massive queue, and I was a bit of a jack the lad, and I was just looking round outside where I could probably get a cup of tea from. And I looked across to the army careers, and I thought to myself, I'll go in there and make out I want to join the army, and he'll make me a cup of tea. I walked in. I said to the bloke, thinking about joining the army, and the first thing he said is, "You want a cup of tea, son?" So I
Did he
thought,
really?
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm in here.
Straight in.
Yeah. Little did I know that he was a salesman, and he sold the army to me, hook, line, and sinker. He was laughing his head off as I walked out the thing, and I'd signed on the dotted line that straight away, basically.
So, how
Um,
old were you then when you started serving?
I was 17 then, I think, just 17
Straight in.
probably. Yeah,
Yeah, straight in.
yeah.
And you did
So
4 years, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So straight away,
So
I'd gone straight to London for my training, which I'd never been to London. I'd gone to Bridlington. Basically, that was the furthest place I'd ever gone in my life, and
massive
I
eye
was going
opener.
to go to London. London, yeah, of all places, it was wonderful. And then
Yeah.
away in Germany and wherever else.
Yeah, I can imagine that was quite an experience, especially at 17.
Yeah, yeah.
So you did 4 years and came out. And I guess what was the next chapter of the story then when you come out?
I sort of I stupidly came back to Hull, I think, and at the time it wasn't a wonderful time. I'd had a bit of a bad childhood, as I mentioned earlier. Um, Things had happened, and I came back to the city where all that stuff had happened. I'd already got some stuff from my military career that I was carrying, and I fell down. I fell into drink and drugs, really, and it just ended up homeless.
Yeah.
Basically, ended up on the streets.
Yeah.
So
And
bit of a crap
what,
time.
I guess, what was that like for those that haven't sort of been in that position before? I can imagine the realization of that on the first day, when you've thought, hang on, I haven't got a home, I've not got a roof above me, I ain't got a bed to sleep in. What's that like? I can't imagine it.
Do you know what? It sounds stupid. Whatever befalls you at the time is normal.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. It's not yeah, it's a crisis point, but it's normal to you that this is happening, if you like. And I think I think at that time I was punishing myself for something I hadn't done.
Hmm.
But yeah, I was punishing myself. I felt I needed to punish myself. It sounds stupid, I know, but it was just that period of time that I went through of this just deep crisis. I'd fallen down. I'd lost completely of my way of thinking and
Yeah.
such. And I did get to a point where I wanted to end it. I wanted to go. And then someone offered me some help, and I accepted it. Thankfully.
I think so many people go through that and have a very similar story, but don't get that helping hand. And I know in some cases, it's not worked out well. And I think that's probably where you've really found inspiration to set up Hull for Heroes. So, as well, for people that don't know, Hull for Heroes is a charity, and you guys specialize in working with veterans, people that are coming out of the forces and really rehabilitating into civil life, getting back into jobs, and then supporting and ongoing support groups moving forward. Do you want to maybe give me a bit of an understanding as to the motivation behind that, and I guess how you got started?
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird story, if you like, but I carried on in life from when I got my help and moved forward in life and became a builder. As mad as it was, I went back to the first job I'd ever done and trained to be a joiner, became a joiner, pretended to be a joiner. To be fair, I didn't go trained to be a joiner. I went on a building site and ended up being a joiner. Um, Ended up with my own company, a double glazing company, and building conservatories and orangeries, and doing okay for myself. A big house. It was quite going quite well, and then one day I got a call I got an email from DIY SOS. They were doing a job in the area. Would I like to be involved? A specialist in my area and that sort of stuff. God, yeah, of course I would. Yeah, I want to get my name on the screen on BBC. So yeah, of course I do. I want to push my company and do whatever else. And I had always done things for charity all the way down the line. So it was good as well to do something for somebody. And I did that DIY SOS in Hull. Got quite pally with Nick Knowles for some strange reason. I don't know why. I'm not into famous people, but we tended to have a chat if we did a time, and he'd sit by me having his dinner. We'd have a laugh and a joke and such like that. And then it finished. Great joy. He went on his way. I went on back to doing what I was doing. Felt a little bit lost because we'd done this fantastic thing, and then it wasn't there again. But thought I must do something else somewhere down the line, and I already was the chairman of the village hall, if you like, and I was running rugby teams and doing whatever else I did in my spare time. So I already did lots of things, but it just felt that something was lost after this DIY SOS, that I should be doing something bigger, but left it there. And then there, DIY SOS were doing a big job in Manchester, the Veteran Street. And I thought, oh dear, I'd love to do that. And one of my pals was doing it, and I rang him. He said, it wasn't going really well. This is on the first day. Not many people had turned up, and they were doing a full street. And I was thinking, God, wouldn't it be good if I could do that. And I had a little word with my customer I was working with at the time and said, look, I've got an opportunity. Would you mind if we left your job for a week? And I'm going to take my lads up there. So I basically, she said yes. I paid my lads to come up with me, and worked on the street basically in Manchester.
And did you pay for all of that out of your own pocket then? All the travel expenses, all the salaries?
Yeah, all the wages and everything basically. I
That's
just thought
amazing.
it'd be nice to do. It'd be nice. I've done one, but it'd be nice for my lads to get the same sort of feeling.
Yeah.
We had a good team at the time, so we all went up and had a good laugh and did whatever. But I'd always gone through life thinking I was the only person on earth who'd ever struggled coming out of the military. And then suddenly realised, working on this show in Manchester, that there were many. And there were so many. Lots of the lads who were helping had been in similar situations. Lots of the lads we were helping had been in similar situations, and hence the RI helping them. And suddenly thought, oh my God, there's loads of us. This is mad.
Yeah.
And I spoke to Nick every day. I said, as I had done, he'd sort of become even more pally because I'd come from Hull to Manchester. He was going, oh my God, Paul, what are you doing, you mad head? You know what I mean? Paying all this money out. But I spoke to him about a bit of my life and such that, and he was astounded. And we seemed to become really good friends throughout the show, if you like, or throughout that part of it. Anyway, that all finished. I came back to Hull, and I literally I was parked up on Preston Road at the traffic lights that never turned green. Sat there waiting for him to turn green, and then looking across at some derelict houses, I suddenly thought to myself, God, wouldn't it be good if we could do what they've just done in Manchester? And I literally was driving home to do some more work on my laptop, pulled my phone out when I got home and wrote on Facebook, wouldn't it be good if us, the city of Hull, my apologies.
You're right.
I'll just wait while that
You're
phone
all right.
stops
No,
ringing.
don't worry. It's fine.
We're about to become the city of culture, and I wrote, wouldn't it be good, this great city of Hull, something like this, that we did the same as they've done in Manchester and help our armed forces services when they come out the forces, all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Put it down, put my phone down, cracked on with my work, and my phone was flashing, and I was thinking, what's that?
You started getting loads of notifications.
Yeah, and it's all of a sudden there's 100 likes 2 minutes later, and I just thought, 100 likes? I think I've had about 10 likes in my life, you know what I mean, by that point.
Me too.
And I thought, 100? God. And then 200, 300, 400, 500, 600. I'm thinking, what the hell have I done? And everybody's going, Paul, if anybody can, you can. We'll help you. We'll give you some materials, this sort of thing. MKM, we're in. All this sort of thing was happening. I was thinking, oh my God, I wasn't saying I'd do it. I was saying, wouldn't it be good if the Hull did it? Do you know what I mean? But anyway, so everybody said, well, we'll back you, we'll do this. And it was mad. A team of people formed within a couple of days. We all sat down and had a chat. And miraculously, as mad as it sounds, within Preston Road, there was a chap who'd served in the military. He was living in one of the derelict houses, in a house that wasn't derelict, but all the houses derelict around him because it was getting knocked down. He hadn't had the chance to move yet, but the kids were firing stones at his windows.
Yeah.
He was turning his electricity off on a night because the meters was outside. It was a dreadful, horrible situation. And we found him a home that needed renovating, and we renovated it and moved him in. And literally, people were bringing us TVs, a new couch for him, all sorts of stuff. And
That's amazing.
We DIY SOS the house, if you like, but not DIY SOS. It was just ourselves, but without the TV cameras. Gave him what he needed, set him forward in life with his family. His kids hadn't played out for so long, but all of a sudden they could play out in this new house. It was absolutely wonderful.
Total new lease of life for everyone involved.
Yeah. And we stupidly posted the pictures up on Facebook, and we got even more likes than we got in the first place for setting up the Hull for Heroes, if you like. And it just went. My pal who lived in Manchester at the time, who was the person I'd rang to go see, he's called Dave the Viking, as bad as it sounds, but I rang Dave and told him about it, and he said, well, that sounds great, mate. He said, why don't you call it Hull for Heroes? And I went, yeah, it's a good idea. Sounds good.
Great
Yeah,
name.
we'll call it that. It went from there, and basically, so this bloke from Wigan came up with a name, and off we went.
That's amazing. What a story as well, just to have had that idea, sat at the traffic lights and thought, bollocks for it, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. It's mad. And then it came, and we did it again and again. literally, I thought from the off, we'll do that, and then possibly decorate someone's bedroom in 6 months and dig somebody's garden, maybe put a fence up somewhere down the line. And it didn't work like that. We did one renovation, then we did a bigger renovation, and a bigger renovation, and a bigger renovation, basically. Built an extension on an house, and it went mad.
So, how many people have you got working for you at the minute? And if people did want to find you, whereabouts is your office space?
Well, now we well we set off. We didn't have offices in the first place, and then we got some office space inside one of my friend's building. His boss gave me a desk and a boardroom I could use, and he said, "Right, these are all my staff. They're now your staff." That sort of thing. So absolutely looked after as a company called MPS at the time, and then we got an office in Whiteforgate, which was absolutely fantastic until, unfortunately, the rent went up that little bit too much, and we couldn't afford to stay there.
Yeah.
So we're now in Prince's Quay, but we've now got a drop-in centre in Prince's Quay as well. So we've got offices, absolutely beautiful offices that we've built basically overnight. We all went into one of the places in Prince's Quay and stayed in there while we built the offices, ready to move into this one. Then we went into there and built a drop-in centre.
Yeah.
So looks absolutely stunning. Drop-in centre somewhere where veterans can come in every single day, have a tea and a coffee, free charge, sit in a gab, bring back that camaraderie, and just talk to each other. But more importantly, whilst they're in there, if they are struggling in any way, they can talk to us as well.
I can.
It's just
Yeah.
that easier way of walking into a drop-in centre and having a coffee than walking into an office and asking for help.
Absolutely
You know what I
right.
mean?
Yeah, I think when we met at your offices before, I was blown away by the space. It was fantastic. And there was the meeting space obviously next door. And I think you'd had a meet up that morning. Was there about 100 people that had turned up?
Yeah, it's mad. It's madness.
Yeah.
We actually, to coin an old phrase, we need a bigger boat already, to be fair. So, but Princess Key have been absolutely fantastic to us. They allow us more space when we need it. We can use the outside space if we need it. We've got an event on next week where lots of armed forces services from across the country are coming and utilising all 3 floors of Princess Key to put on a show, basically, and show they are. So we're lucky. We really are lucky here. Just it's worked for us.
So what's next then? So you guys run a number of support groups. So you've got Geo Men's Talking Group, and you've also got Lisa's Ladies Talking Group. For anybody that's come out of the forces that maybe does want some additional support and help, are you all right to maybe shed a little bit of light on these support groups, how you help people, and why they're beneficial?
Yeah. We always thought that we need something anyway. There's military support for anybody with any problems is a big struggle. You always waited 6 months or so if you was in need of any help whatsoever, and it's difficult. It does end up as being counselling, and most people who served in the military won't go to civilian counselling because they always feel, well, what would you know? Do you know what I mean? If you sat there talking to a lady who's never been in a theatre of war, how can you portray the things that maybe happened to you in there? And to be fair, we none of us talk about that sort of thing anyway. Because how could you even tell your partner those things? It's not something you can bring to light, basically. So we always thought that people who serve in the military trust people who serve in the military. They need to be around veterans most of the time. They need to be around like-minded people. So we came up with the thoughts of setting up 2 talking groups, just military people sat in a room, one for men, one for women, and literally a chat. But it's more of a formal chat as well. It's specifics. There's questions asked to each person. The same question is asked to each person, and everybody talks and everybody converses on it. So if somebody's got a problem, everybody in the room will help them with that problem and give them positives to what they did when they was in that same situation, whatever it might be. It works perfectly. But it was set up basically in the name of George Ellis and Lisa Bateman. George, a young lad, took his life at the age of 24. He'd served in the Yorkshire Regiment, and Lisa was a medic. Lisa, unfortunately, was going to be part of our team, bless her. And unfortunately, during COVID, she was getting some help, but COVID stopped all that help, and they sent her away to serve somewhere else. And unfortunately, she took her life.
Oh, I'm sorry,
We
Paul.
didn't get the chance to help her. But we are helping her name, and her name is going forward and helping other people, as is George's. George was nicknamed Geo, So we've called it GEO, and that's Get Emotions Out. So we're moving it far and wide, basically. So there's places set up in Scunthorpe, Driffield, Hull prison even, and we're aiming to put them in all the prisons across the country as well. So they help the veterans who are in there. So when they come out, they'll try and find a GEO. Invariably, those GEOs will be set up into charities, military charities, and they'll end up getting the help that they need from the charity as well.
Amazing. Do you ever find yourself needing a bit of support every now and again?
Yeah, I mean, it's mad. It is mad. When we set up GEO, there was 4 people going to attend, and we thought between ourselves that we would bolster that GEO group up with some of our staff, just to make it look that little bit bigger, and they wouldn't feel foolish with a small amount of people in the room, and hopefully come again. We all still attend GEO.
Yeah.
We all still go, and we all still need the help. And I didn't know. I really didn't think I needed to be able to talk, but going to GEO helps you talk, and it helps you feel better. And obviously, if we do what we do, we come across some really bad cases on occasion, and we lose some people on occasion. So we do need to air that, and we do need to talk. In fact, we're bringing a counsellor on board for ourselves very shortly. A young girl who's finishing her term. She's going to help all our team as well. So we do that as well. We do look after each other. We all make sure we have dinner together and things like that.
Good. Yeah, that's good. So the next step, you're building the Veterans Village. So is it 50 houses?
It's practically, it's 48 houses. So it's 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom. So family housing as well as singular housing.
And that's up in East Yorkshire, right?
It's in Hull and it's in East Yorkshire. So it's Hull land, Hull City Council land inside the East Yorkshire boundary. It sounds mad, but it works when Humberside split up. So yeah, we've had to have 2 planning permissions. We've done that. And we're about to put a shovel in the ground as well this year. So
good.
We aim to start in November.
So then I guess the motivation behind that, when individuals are coming out, that would really give somebody a solid base for raising the family, sort of getting back into civvy life, getting used to that, I guess, the daily plod rather than the activities within the military.
Yeah. But just showing up what normal life's all about, really. So it's all about transition. So you move in there for a period of time, and then we move you on to houses that we've got you somewhere else as well. So we're not just going to drop you. We'll help you through the rest of your period. But it's really a 6 month to 2 year time in the village, really. So
good. Yeah, that's amazing.
And you can literally, as you're leaving the forces, if you're serving and your partner's at home, the partner and the children will live in the village, and then you'll finish your service into the village, if you like. So,
and how do people apply then to get one of those houses?
Well, we're working with the military, so all the different services, so the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines and such, so we work with all of those to try and pinpoint the right people that can come in, people who possibly will struggle
got you.
Into civilian life. So we then move them in, basically, and work with them. All at different periods they'll be coming in and leaving at all different periods as well. But the thoughts are that you're surrounded by like-minded people, so it'll help whichever way. You're not leaving on your own.
Absolutely.
Some people leave on their own, tend to struggle. Everybody leaves on their own. It's a closed door. Give us your card, right, you're finished and you're gone. And all your friends have gone, basically. And generally, the city that you're moving to, probably the city you came from, all the friends that you did have 20 years ago have moved on in life as well.
Yeah.
So,
well, what a fantastic opportunity there for people to be able to come out and have somewhere to be around those like-minded individuals, and then just get used to it. I think that's absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's a stupid idea, to be fair.
You must be very proud.
No, I am utterly proud, but I'm very proud of the team that's around me as well. I'm surrounded by like-minded people, as we say. Lots of people in Hull Heroes have served in the forces, and those who haven't understand us as well. So we've got a great team, an absolutely fantastic team. Not just the team members and the members of staff, the volunteers are they're unstoppable anyway, to be fair. And some of them are absolutely just wonderful people, which is a great thing to do every day, work with wonderful people.
Definitely. I saw quite a heartwarming post that you shared. I think it was yesterday or the day before. You'd done some woodland experiences.
Yes, last weekend. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
Was it about 18, 20 people that you took out?
Yeah, Yeah, it was 19. It was supposed to be 20. One person didn't turn up, so it was supposed to be 20. But yeah, 19 people went. It was absolutely fantastic. I went as well. And we just have a great weekend in the woods, in the middle of the Lake District. You can imagine the views, obviously. Campfire on a night. I'm sitting around the campfire telling jokes and experiences of what you did when he was in the military and all them sort of things, having a laugh, taking the mickey out of each other. And then we went out the next day to go paddleboarding on Ullswater, which was absolutely
I bet.
fantastic. Just absolutely stunning views, obviously, falling in and out of the lake, having a laugh at each other and doing them sort of things. And then campfires on again on the night and a bit of shooting the next day and bow and arrow and spear throwing and all sorts of things. It was really good,
Okay.
really good.
Yeah, good. So for people that have listened to this and I suppose been as inspired as I've been listening to you talk, how can people help? So if they want to get in touch with you, how can they support you? I know that you've got a number of different items of clothing for sale on your website. You do a number of events, charity days. How can people help you, Paul?
Yeah, I mean, come along, learn about us. Take a look on the website, see who we are. Tell other people as well, because 10% of the population are military in and around this area. It's quite a lot of people. So if the more people know about us, the more people can help as well. We've had someone in this morning that uh, I won't go into too much detail, but they just didn't know about us, and all of a sudden they're getting that help. We have people walking who just desperately in a desperate state. Do you know what I mean? In a desperate state, and we help them and take the rocks off their shoulders and just sit and chat with them sometimes and come into the coffee morning. Do you know what I mean? Come into the centre and come and see us. That sort of thing. Come and see us. That's one big way you can help us and just find out about us. But push the fact if there's anything you can do sponsorship wise, companies, bigger companies, if they can sponsor us in any way, shape, or form, we money doesn't grow on trees. We know that it's a difficult situation. It's very difficult running a charity. I never believed it's much harder than running a business in every way, shape, and form. And we just need funds to be able to help more people. That's one of the biggest ways, obviously. But come to the events. Look how many events we've got on. Come and see us at our dinner. We've got an anniversary dinner later in the year. Come and buy tickets for that and see who we are properly and have a laugh and a drink and just learn about us. But push our name is the biggest way, really.
Absolutely.
Push our name out there.
Yeah, Paul, you're a really inspiring guy and your story is absolutely fantastic. So I'll do everything that I can to help you get some support and share this throughout my network as well. I've really enjoyed talking to you and I hope that we get to keep in touch.
Brilliant.
Cheers,
All right, Sam.
Paul.
Thank you.
Thank you, mate.
See you soon.
Bye.
Cheers, mate.